Hello! After a long hiatus on the YouTubes and the things, and I have to build a new Twitch channel and do all kinds of stuff. But after an 8-month hiatus, this channel is returning. It's returning. For those that have been here for a while, for the subscribers that we do have, as always, I'm Alex the Humanoid, and I'm joined by a new co-host. It's a new co-host. This is Jay. Jay, introduce yourself to the people. Normal's overrated. Let's let's call it for what it is. I met Jay when we still had the store. I met Jay. Well, first I met Jay through my spouse, but then Jay and I got going. Jay headlined one of our and some friends of his headlined one of our After Dark events. We had a really good time with that. And Jay and I have stayed in touch. And after a long hiatus and some other stuff again, and there'll be more announcements related to the Identico stuff later. I'm coming back to this because this is easier and it makes me like it's not it's creative but not super stressful for me to do this kind of content. Like it doesn't take the like sheer force of oomph that a lot of it does. You know what I mean? Like that's just a thing. So, yeah. So, welcome. We don't know what we're going to call this show yet. So, if you're watching this later, leave something in the comments. Tell us what we should call the show. It's going to have a similar ish format to the other stuff. Similar ish, we'll do a variety of, predefined topics, and then we'll open it up to chat and ask chat all kinds of crazy things and what they want to hear, what they want to see. But for the time being, we still don't have a title for the channel or the show. I hate naming things. It's my least favorite thing to do. I've done it a lot, and it's terrible titling things. You had a podcast before. How did you come up with your name before? Tell people about that podcast. Mm-hmm. What? But I like the title. Like a generally, but like a sex positive podcast. And again, I picked up. I was like, it's the Emperor. They will teach you things that's unnatural to some. Unnatural, yeah, something like that. I've no, yeah. I mean, I think it's great. I love it. I absolutely adore it. So if you are out there checking, go ahead and check out that podcast, right? And see, check that out. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna do something. We're gonna pop off really fast. We're gonna pop back on because I'm being told that you can't see it. So hang on 1 second, folks. Okay, I think we're back in. Okay, but it should be public now. I'm gonna text my wife and be like, let's see if it pops up. In fact, I can probably just test it on my phone, because I'm a goofball. No, come on, computer. Let's see if it's working now. Hang on. Why is it not popping up? I don't know. We're gonna keep going. Oh wait, just kidding. I think it just popped up. That's fine. There we go. Chat. Oh, there we go. Oh, Andy. Hey, Andy, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Again, this is kind of our dress rehearsal, so people, bloody forgive me, okay? Like, first off, I have not done live streaming in 7 months. But I haven't, okay? I haven't done live streaming in 7 months, so I'm a little out of practice. I got my stream deck set up. I had to redo some lighting. I'm going to be redoing lighting for the next week, I'm sure. And I'm doing stuff. I've been making fire TikToks though. Thank you. I have been unleashed because of some recent stuff. Again, more announcements are going to come out about that shortly. This podcast is again for those that, because we did the thing. This is going to be a little different in that this one's going to go a little further down the rabbit hole into politics and social stuff and things like that, but in a funny way, because it's funny. It's hilarious, okay? Because we are living in a simulation, I am convinced. For those that missed it before, again, because I don't think we went public, this is Jay. Jay, some of y'all may recognize from our After Dark event when we had the store. Go back, we'll redo the intro video. It'll be fine, right? But since you're in the chat and there's people here now, if there's anything you want us to talk about, everybody who knows me knows I love hitting those at the end of the show. Okay, like we like to get feedback and funny things. So if there's anything you want us to talk about, put it in the chat and I will put that in the rundown. We'll get to it at the end of the show. But as always, we got some predetermined topics we started talking about. It's been a good summer movie season. We've had some really good stuff. We had Deadpool and Wolverine to kind of kick it off. I saw Alien Romulus. That was solid. Like, we've had some good stuff. One that I wasn't sure about, and I have not had a chance to get around to seeing yet, but Jay has, and that's the new Crow remake, right? I'll be honest. I have been a little... What's the word I want to use? Skeptical. I have AMC A-List, all right, and hashtag not a sponsor, right? I love A-List because I get 3 movies a week, and if I see more than 2 movies a month, it's paid for itself for what the monthly subscription is. Like, and you get the upgrades for your concessions, you still get your points. Like, if you are a movie fan, it is the way to go. But yeah, actually, Chad is asking right now, and would like to know, how was The Crow? So give us a rundown. With his son, Brandon, who sadly died during the production of the original. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. They're saying they can't hear you. So we're going to figure out why. Why can't you hear Jeff? I'm seeing you pop up in the audio. Hey, what's up, God of Magic? How's it going? You should be able to hear Jeff, and I don't know why. Can you guys hear him yet? Let me know. Jeff, keep talking to the people. Keep talking to the people. You're just messing with stuff now. I hear he's talking into the void. Hang on, let me try something here real quick. I'm gonna unmute that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to advanced audio properties. That is active.
Been wanting to tell
All right, try that now.
Okay.
Can you
Hello?
guys hear him now? Let's try that. Jeff, so
Hello.
everybody let me know if you can hear him now. I think that may have fixed it. No.
Hello.
Yes.
No?
Yes. I'm hearing yes. They can hear you now.
Nice.
See, again.
We did it.
Again, I apologize. It's been 7 months. I'm working out technical stuff. So, to recap, you were a fan of Bruce Lee, Brandon Lee. You liked the original Crow, right?
Yes.
You went into this. What? Give us kind of the rundown. Does the story vary a whole lot from the original?
Ooh. It's been a while since I've seen the original Crow. However, I do believe it deviates from that. I couldn't like give you a complete list of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I mean in general, I loved it. I loved the style, I loved the darkness of it. Yeah, to me, I liked it. I actually was a little concerned when I saw the movie. It was like the opening weekend and there was like 3 other people in that theater.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh no." And then I left and I was like, "Oh, it was amazing." But I immediately knew there's not going to be a second one.
No. And they made a bunch of sequels to the original.
Yeah.
Okay. Global box office for it. Ew. Yeah, it did not do well.
It was, what was it? $30? I was the only one.
Right now it's sitting at globally $21 million.
Oh, okay.
That's not good.
No.
Domestic is only 9.2 million. To put that in perspective, Deadpool and Wolverine made like 9 million in their 7th week. Right?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's not landing with audiences? Like what do you see here? And we had talked a lot, like when we were kind of working on pre-production, about talking about the business side. That's something I've always really enjoyed. Was it the marketing? Is it there's too many people who remember the original or like, nope, don't do it again? Like, what do you think it is that's making this not work?
I think it's a combination of things. One, I don't think the marketing was there. Like, I do not remember seeing a lot of ads. The only reason why I did see it because I also have the AMC A-lister, so I kind of keep up to date. So when I saw The Crow coming up, I was like, oh my gosh, let's go watch a trailer. So I don't think the marketing was there, one, but I think the issue in today's society is I don't know, the haters online, right? So if you're someone that is like, oh, I'm on the fence, should I see this movie? Is it good? I think a lot of like the big like social media people with a huge following, all they have to do is like talk how bad the movie is. It's going to pull attention, right? Like everyone wants to hear like 53 ways The Crow sucks or something. No one's going to be like, hey, here's a video of how great The Crow was.
Hate clicks get more clicks, right?
Yes.
And again, those in the chat, again, thank you to everybody who's joining us tonight. Know that, and you and I have talked about this. We like to keep this a generally positive place. Like, I'm sure we'll hit some negative stuff tonight, but yeah. So overall, you're a thumbs up on the movie. Worth catching on streaming?
Yes, it is way better than any of the Fantastic Four movies.
That's not a high bar to clear.
I was trying to set the bar low, so everyone's like, you know what? Technically, he was correct. Yeah.
Technically, he was right. It was better than the Four Stick, which poor Josh Trank. I think Fox really screwed him on that one prior to the murder. let us know what you think. If there's anybody in the chat seen The Crow, if you're watching this later in the comments, let us know. Did you watch The Crow? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Let us know. The other fun thing that's come out of this year of movies is, and you brought this up in pre-show stuff, was popcorn buckets.
The bucket. Oh, the popcorn. Yeah.
Well, and for anybody that saw the Dune Sandworm one, that one was obviously like, it was horrible innuendo. And then when they did the Deadpool and Wolverine one, they obviously were like, well, obviously we're going crazy sexual with our popcorn buckets this year.
Yeah. I want to be in that marketing boardroom, right? Where they're like, I don't know, fresh out of college person brings in like the board and he's really high and he's like, look at this popcorn bucket, but it's just like a picture of like a pocket pussy, and no one said anything. They were like, yeah, do it.
I'm convinced they went to the Ahagao Ahagao face subreddit for the Wolverine one and just were like, look at all these pictures of right, and we'll just make Wolverine do that and it'll be fun.
I actually have the Deadpool one.
Did you get the Deadpool one? No, wait, which one did you get? Because there was a couple. They had the skull head one.
Skull head.
Did you get skull head? Not Ahagao Wolverine?
No.
I was like, oh my god. I mean, suffice it to say, Deadpool is the movie of the summer. It blew up. I think it did better than even they thought it was going to do. It's now the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, and for good reason. It's just a good flick. I even took Jordan to see it.
Oh.
She thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm actually, I know I'm not from like Washington State, but I'm surprised that you would like expose her to that.
Here's the thing. She lives in my house, which means the swearing is not a big deal. Right? Okay.
Oh, I'm not talking about the swearing. I'm talking about the NSYNC.
Oh no, that was wonderful. You should have seen her face when he was doing the dance, because she'd seen some of it on social media before. When he's doing the dance and killing all the TV agents, she was like bouncing in her seat like, this is the greatest thing ever. So to me, the violence in it was really cartoony.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was graphic, but it almost felt over real. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like almost like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Like it just, and she loved
it
did, and she loved Dogpool, right?
Oh yeah.
She was clocking Dogpool like running around in the background of the big fight scene. And then the innuendo jokes, she didn't even clock them, right? Because they go by so fast that like I took her and her friend, and like it was just right over her head. Nothing.
Well, that's even with like cartoons. If you go back and you watch like the cartoons that we watched when we were kids, now you pick up on all of these little things where you're like, that went right over my head when I was like 6 or 7.
Yep. And again, it was that kind of stuff. She didn't clock those jokes, and so again, she had a good time with it. So I had now again, I'm not telling parents to take their children to see Deadpool and Wolverine. Mine is 9. She's my kid. I decide what she can see. She was like, Dad, can I watch Alien Romulus? And I said, abso-fucking-lutely not. Right? Because that is going to give you nightmares. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. That
Definitely.
one, they went full back to horror. Right? Since apparently we're on a summer movie topic now. So that's fine. Right? They went really back to the horror. If Alien was a horror movie and Aliens is an action movie, they went back to, no, this is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat said it was Monty Python-esque for Deadpool, I think. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. And again, I thought it was a fun movie. Rest of the year, we've got some big stuff coming. I'm curious. Curious how the rest of the year is going to round out. Yeah. Hey, Necron in the live chat, thanks for popping in. Come back for our next show. We're going to set a schedule soon. I promise. Let's see. Oh, let me go back to the rundown. All right, moving on. Our next topic. Oh, staying with movies and and this is where we're gonna get kind of sad for a minute, right? Kind of sad for a minute. But this week, James Earl Jones died at the age of 93, leaving behind a massive, massive film legacy. He's an EGOT winner, which is so rare in the entertainment industry. He's got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony, multiple Tonys, right? To get all 4 of those. He has voiced some of the most iconic characters of all time, like just straight up, from Mufasa to Darth Vader. This one kind of, like, as far as celebrity deaths, this one kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. This is probably the ones, like, Robin Williams was probably the last one where I went, damn.
Well, yeah.
The difference here is he was 93.
Yeah.
So.
And I was going to say, like, when Carrie Fisher passed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that shocked me. And, you know, he lived a lot longer. But that's what you have, or that's what happens when you have, like, the dark side on your side.
Yeah. Somebody brought up Carlin in the live chat. Yeah, Carlin, again, but Carrie Fisher and Robin Williams, I feel like they died early, right? Carlin was fairly old when he died. And again, James Earl Jones was 93. I was trying to isolate which one is my favorite. Besides Darth Vader. Like, there's the obvious one, right? Darth Vader is obvious. So besides Darth Vader, what is your favorite, like, appearance? What's give me your top 2 or 3 of good old James Earl Jones. Let's pay tribute for a moment. Chat, you can answer as well.
Yeah.
I
don't know. He's been in just, like, so much.
Field of Dreams. Obviously. Somebody brought up Sesame Street. Yes, he was amazing on Sesame Street. That is true. Malodoramics in the live chat is saying Sesame Street, Simpsons, and Big Bang Theory. That was a very funny episode of Big Bang Theory. And actually, funny piece of trivia about that episode. Prior to that episode of Big Bang Theory, he had never met Carrie Fisher in person.
Really?
He'd done all this stuff in a booth.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
And so they do the joke where him and Sheldon go, like, ding-dong ditch on Carrie Fisher's door in L.A. And she's like, it's not funny, James. But the thing is he had never met her in person prior to Big Bang Theory. So good job, Big Bang Theory, for bringing them together. King Joffrey Joffer from Coming to America. Classic role. Field of Dreams. Conan.
Yeah.
Right? God, so many. So many good roles. But he will live on. He did license his voice to Disney.
Oh, wow.
For Darth. Specifically for Darth. They are allowed to continue using a computer-modified version of his voice for Darth Vader if they need it for a Star Wars movie.
Nice.
That's good.
He'll live on.
He will live on. Yeah. So, thank you, James, for giving the world just amazing roles and, like, movie memories. And again, you know, Mufasaing it up. Okay, he's all up in the stars now, like Mufasa. He's gonna yell at us like Simba. He's one with the Force. He's there. Good job. All right. Moving on. Other big news this week. Live chat. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look. We had a debate this week, if you want to call it that.
No, it was just a slaughter.
I don't think anyone expected it to be as bad as it was.
Yeah,
This debate was bad.
I think even, like, Fox News was like,
what?
Okay, it might have been, like, that bad, but, like, no one saw it. And I think, like, 67 million people saw it.
Oh yeah, no, the ratings were huge for it. Ratings were
Yeah,
huge, huge for this. Um,
more than The Crow.
more than yes, more people watched the debate than watched the. Well, put it this way: if everybody who'd seen the debate watched the Crow would have done like 700 million in box office, right?
Yeah,
Not
true.
21. Um, wow. Also, we got some really great memes out of it. Right, specifically the dogs, cats. They're coming. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. And that was the point where everybody just kind of went, "What?" Like before that, he'd already gone off the rails with like when she hit him on the rallies, and she was like, "My rallies are bigger than yours." He lost his crap. Um,
Yeah.
but the dogs and cats is really where everybody went, "Oh, we've gone. We're fully down the rabbit hole."
I just I want to be like really inside someone's brain, like someone who has like defended him for all the years is like, no, like Trump is whatever. Um, I want to be like inside their brain. Like, what are they thinking right now? Like, everyone has to be like,
Oh,
oh shit.
I I get a lot of weird right wing wannabe Tommy Lauren like people on TikTok. All right, like a
Yeah.
bunch of them. I get pushed to my TikTok FYP. They fully. Well, let me break it down a little more. 1 out of 10 of the like Trumpy people are actually being honest, are saying that was a dumpster fire. It was terrible, and he got his ass handed to him.
10%.
Yeah, 60% are like, it's the moderator's fault, right? It was a 3v1.
Yeah.
Like, that's the cope. That's what they're
Yeah.
doing. That's the
Uh,
cope that they're going with. Is it was the moderator's fault. It wasn't Trump's fault. And then there's a 3 out of 10. The last 30% are like, what are you talking about? He won. He was great. His stuff was way better than hers. And they're in full on delusion land. Like, they've gone. Um, it's beyond. Like, here's the thing: you're not going to hit the hardcore MAGA supporters at this point. I think that those days have sailed. Right? They're not coming back. Right? I think, and actually, you might be able to speak to this because Jay, you are from Florida.
oh god.
And actually, so this is interesting because just before the show tonight, I was reading an article where they were talking about how Florida is actually getting kind of upset because they're not a swing state anymore.
Mm,
Right? And this is one of
mm,
those times a year when like these TV stations would get the political advertising and the stuff, and they don't anymore. Like the political spend down there is nothing. I'm sure you know people who are on the more conservative side of things, being from Florida. Do
yeah.
you think it's moved the? Do you think that there's any percentage where it's moved the needle, where they're just like, you know what, I'm tired of this guy?
Um, I don't think so. Like, I I escaped from Florida in 2021, and when I
I like how you
left,
put that like it's a movie. Escape from Florida in 2021. Now let's point this out. You escaped like post like the first part of COVID,
yeah.
and you were telling me about your COVID experience down there.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, tell
So
the people. Tell the people.
it's so weird because out here in Washington, everyone talks about like lockdowns, running out of toilet paper, doing crazy things like not going to Disney. And I was just like so shocking by that because I was like, it never hit Florida. It never did.
Did you guys
Now,
like it was
obviously, it
it
did.
was like the 2 weeks to slow the spread, and then everybody was like, all right, we're done now.
Yeah, I I will say I did do it. Okay, it was wrong. I do admit that. But I did go to Universal during COVID, like during the peak of COVID. And yeah, Disney and Universal were still open and you got a cheaper price. Um, and yeah, I did it.
Uh,
But no, like,
chat saying lots of whining and
uh,
crying in Washington. We were all fucking bored. Like that first, and you and I've talked about that first 10 months here. I would say it's like starting in like the end of March when everything kind of locked down. That first year through the end of through the end of 2020, it was rough, rough. Because it was very serious up here. Like, shit shut down. It was done.
Yeah.
Not in Florida.
No, no. Uh, you could still go to bars and clubs and all of that. Um, they would like limit the amount of people that could like come in, but there's like most of the time there was like no social distancing at all. And ironically, I never got COVID until like last year in Washington, and I was like, why?
Um, because that's just how life works,
Yeah.
right? So again, being from that area, do you think it's moved the needle at all?
I don't.
Trump won by
I don't
like
think so.
3% last election. Do you think Florida could be in play?
I think he's still going to take Florida. I just like knowing the mentality of Florida. Like I grew up, born and raised Florida,
Florida used to
and
take pride in being a swing state,
yeah,
right? In not being hyper partisan.
yeah.
What happened down there? Like why? They're just. Do you think they've just like lost it? Is it the humidity? Is there a
So
bug?
a few things. One, Florida kills everyone. Okay, Al Capone. Florida killed Al Capone. So you go down to Florida, die. Like everyone wants to retire in Florida, be on the beach. It's like 10 times cheaper than Seattle. No gray weather. Uh, COVID doesn't hit you, right?
But it's humid and
Uh,
there's things that are going to eat you
no,
and bugs.
you just have to watch out, and just be Florida man if it does. If it does attack
Just
you.
fight the
You have to
alligator.
just fight it. Um, when so there's this like park we always went to like on a field trip every single year. We went to this park and they have Alligator Island.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, like in I don't know, 8, 9, 10, the cool thing to do would be to like run down like a baby alligator, grab it by its tail, and try to drag it as far as you could. Um, so no, you're like taught at an early age to do dumb shit. But yeah, it doesn't eat you most of the time.
Most of the
But no,
time.
I do think you just have a crazy amount of like older people moving to Florida.
So I was seeing some coverage on a couple of channels where the Villages, which for those that don't know is like a big area in Florida with lots of old retired people from everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And they're all fairly wealthy. It's not cheap to live there.
Yeah.
But they're having like massive Kamala rallies in the Villages.
I mean that's surprising. That's I I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just curious. I said, do you think it's the people who've moved there? Is it just baked in at this point? Again, I was reading an article. Again, even DeSantis seems kind of upset that like they're not a swing state anymore, and I think they're losing a lot of political capital because everybody's kind of like, we don't care about you. Like we used to care about you, Florida. When you were a swing state, we would fight to get your votes.
Yeah.
Now we really don't give a shit. Do you think that that's actually bad for Florida?
I don't know.
Do you think they lose some political power nationally because they're not a swing state anymore? And the Democrats can essentially ignore them?
I think I don't know. Florida will get it back. I don't know.
You think so?
Yeah, they'll I feel like they'll set out to like try to make it a swing state again. And eventually will. Somehow.
Again, this is a weird election cycle. The rapid switch out of candidates and stuff and this truncated like rapid run up to the White House is really throwing shit for a loop. So I don't
Yeah,
think anybody knows.
it's like
Um,
a little magic trick. What's
we're
under this hat?
we're gonna
No.
see what happens next. Speaking of the debates, by the way, Trump did come out this afternoon and say no more debates. I'm not doing any more. I won, so why would I need to do more? Because I won.
Yeah,
That's his
cool.
that's his that's his line today. So that'll be. I'm sure it's going to be super effective because the last thing you want people to think about when you're debating is they're eating the dogs and the cats.
Yeah. I I just why would you vote for him?
I don't. Again,
Why?
I saw a couple people from outside the country, like who are Canadian and British, and they were like, "We're watching this from Canada and Britain and wondering why this election is close." The latest rounds of polls post debate are out. Most of them have Kamala at least 2 points higher than she was pre-debate
Nice.
nationally, and these are likely voter screens. Uh, the vote.org said the first 10 hours after Taylor posted the link in her endorsement of Kamala, they had 306 hits. 306,000 hits from her link
Oh,
to register people
okay.
to vote.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think that millennials and Gen Z are notoriously difficult to poll because they don't answer the phone.
So, ooh,
Go.
I'm in a marketing class right now.
Okay, go. I want to hear this.
Um, we talk about Gen Z. It's crazy.
Okay.
Uh, so Gen Z in this marketing class was like, if you specifically want to go after Gen Z, you have to go over their social media heroes, and their heroes like on Twitch or Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
what X, whatever it's called, X Force.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
It's still fucking
you
Twitter.
have
Elon can do whatever he wants. It's fucking Twitter. Fuck Elon.
it's Twitter. Um,
But you got to hit the influencers.
yeah, you have to get them. You have to get their buy-in because Gen Z will listen to them more than anything else. Like you're talking about people that pay, extra $5 or $10 so they have no ads on like Hulu, whatever. Um, so you have to go after their like social media
Which is
heroes.
interesting because prior to the debate, right around the time Biden dropped out, Trump was actually doing interviews with like Twitch streamers.
They're
He's
fake.
he's been hitting a lot of those alternative media, apparently at the urging of his son Barron. He's been hitting a bunch
Oh,
of the Twitch
that
people
makes
and Gen Z Twitch
that
like
makes sense.
influencer people before the thing. And again, like you're saying, you know, is Taylor Swift enough? Are these things kind of offsets for that? You know what I mean? Chat says the midterms are going to be fun. Yeah, the midterms are going to be. I'm not. You know what though? I don't want to think about the midterms. No, no. The midterms are more than 2 years away. Let's get through this nightmare of an election cycle. Maybe we'll do a live stream on election night and just like
Oh,
follow the
yeah.
returns and just be like, and pull our hair out and get hammered because that
Let's
might
do
be
it.
the only way to do it. Is just get hammered on election night.
Just get hammered and end up shaving our beards.
Yeah, there you go. And just pray. Just be like, God, can this be over now? Um, yeah. I said it is the most interesting cycle we've had in a while. We've never had a candidate drop out this close to election day and just be like, screw it, I'm done.
Mm-mm.
Right? Um, for those of you, and I'm gonna do this, Jay, you won't be able to hear it. Unfortunately, I gotta figure out how to fix this. But there's a guy, and Jay, follow on your phone, and this guy is amazing. His name's Shmo Yoho. Shmo Yoho does debate stuff, right? Oh, did I close it? I didn't. No, come back. Come back. I did close it. No, I didn't. Where you at? There you are. Hang on one second. Boop, boop. Oh, come on. Come on. Remove. Yes, we're gonna add it back in. So give me a second. This decided to die.
Ba, ba, ba.
Okay. So This guy will have a musical recap of the debate out within 24 hours. I don't know how he does it. He's so fucking fast. Right? The last 2 cycles, it's been him. He does the musical side of it, but his presenters are Weird Al and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Right?
Oh, wow.
Lost manufacturing jobs.
It's like through a matter of a campaign like a dog.
You're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me.
Who would you be?
I will be a president that will protect rights.
If you were in the West Wing. We have a nation in decline. Would you be fair? Would you be tough?
Yeah.
Uphold the Constitution and stuff. Who would you be?
This is
What would you do?
he gets these out within like a day, and it's amazing
We vote for you.
how fast.
It's only getting worse. Someday 1 through 2028 to make a quick.
He had this one out within 24 hours of the thing. The Biden-Trump debates, he's had both the Weird Al ones out within the 24 hours. Yep, eating the cats,
Just focus on the future, and the others on the past.
and no one knows why.
I read that you was black. I'll say that.
Let's not go back. We're not going back.
Very thought-provoking. We'll be right back.
Juice Burger.
Juice
America
Burger.
has a choice. Choose to buy burger. Pay money. You eat burger. You have American happiness. Allegations unproven. You don't burger. You bad, stinky baby. Lack of burger is root of all suffering. Democracy is burger. Juice Burger.
Juice Burger. America chooses taste every time. And now for the halftime juicy.
Somebody said Emperor Bells. I'm sure they will, but this guy, again, he gets these out, like the debate happens, it's out within 24 hours. And then it's always a song. It's a musical recap, and I love them.
As America always should, we look out for our friends. Invited a violent mob to attack.
A nation in decline. Our elections are bad.
Donald Trump was fired.
So, if you want to follow what's going on with the debates, but don't have the patience to sit through them all, he'll give you a good recap within like a day. And the Weird Al ones the Weird Al one from 2020, the 2020 Biden-Trump debate, is the best one. Right? I don't know. Are you a Weird Al fan, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That Weird Al one from 2020, it was just so good. And they did do, when Trump and Biden debated in June, Weird Al did do another one with Shmo Yoho this year called Deja Vu. And for those that are really into TikTok, he also did the corn song. Because it's corn. A big lump with knobs. It's got the juice. So that came from Shmo Yoho. He's been doing this for a long time. He doesn't release stuff often, but this stuff is amazing and it's hilarious. So highly recommend checking those out. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be an interesting cycle. I don't know if we're going to get any more debates. I think it's just going to be 2 more months of craziness. I think that our best bet is actually kind of the same bet we had in 2020, is that people are just tired of it.
Yeah.
That there's enough people who are just like, blah. I also am seeing more classic GOP, and I'm not talking about like Dick Cheney, because in the words of Jon Stewart, fuck Dick Cheney, right? I'm seeing a lot more like classical Republicans being like that are literally publicly coming out and saying, look, the only way we're going to get a reasonable conservative party back in this country is if he is destroyed this election cycle, right? You have to completely eradicate him to give political top cover so everybody can come out from underneath Trumpy land, right? Like, you've just got to wreck him. So if you want a reasonable conservative party back again, you have to vote against him. And I can't say I disagree.
Yeah.
You know, if the Republicans want to go back to being a reasonable party, or at least semi-reasonable, you know, you see the clips all the time of John McCain when he was running against Obama, when like he was at a town hall and this woman comes up, right, and is doing the town hall, and this is old lady, and she's like, I don't trust Obama, he's a Muslim. And John McCain literally takes the microphone from her and he's like, no. He's not a Muslim. He was born here. We happen to have fundamental disagreements about how to run the country, but he's a good family man and he's not a Muslim. Stop it. Like, and he, again, I think that that's kind of the bare minimum. But the fact that, like, nowadays that like blows our minds. That like that was a thing that happened. People
Yeah.
didn't used to be complete psychos. So, all right. So that was the debate. What else do I have on the rundown for today? Oh, last one. This may cause some controversy. Linkin Park
Yes.
has a new singer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Linkin Park has a new singer.
Yep.
I was first saw this on TikTok. I saw some stuff. I'm seeing some facial expressions, Jay. You want to take this one? Go.
You cannot replace the original singer.
Chester Bennington. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I would love to like go see them in concert. Um,
I saw them in concert.
ah, jelly. But yeah, it's not it's not the same,
I'm gonna date with
and
some.
I'm not like a huge fan of it. I'm sorry. It's okay, I would say when she is singing, it's not bad, but then when she does like the more like screaming parts,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, no. Mm,
So the credit I will give her is even when she's doing that stuff, I don't feel like she's trying to do a Chester impression,
yeah.
right? Like I don't think she's trying to be Chester. I think that their idea is that she's going to be the new lead singer and that it's going to be her doing those classic songs plus the new stuff that they're writing. I understand why Mike Shinoda and those guys are doing this. They don't want the band to die.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's fair.
And I mean, to be fair, Vin Diesel continued to make Fast and the Furious movies, and we all know that was a huge hit.
When Paul Walker died. Yep.
Yeah, when Paul Walker died, and it honestly, it should have stopped. It should have stopped right there.
Somebody in the live chat is saying that they think the band should have retired. And they basically did for a while after Chester died.
Well, yeah.
I am torn. I did see them live back in 2000 3, 4, or 5. It was one of those. It was the mid-aughts. So, yeah, probably almost 20 years ago. God. I feel bad. I feel old now. Shit. I saw them at the Tacoma Dome. And
Nice.
and they Hoobastank opened for them, just to give you a time period as to when this was.
Oh my gosh.
It was definitely post Transformers the movie, so it had to have been 2000. Maybe was it? Oh God, what year was that? I don't even remember. It was the mid-aughts. Chester was amazing. That whole band was amazing in concert. Okay, like they wheeled out stand-up pianos onto the stage, and Chester would play right there. I'm torn. I agree with you. I think I agree with the chat. I'm not sure this was a good move. She also has quite a bit of controversy surrounding her. She had to make some statements this last weekend. She is a longtime Scientologist. As to whether she is still affiliated with Scientology, that it's not clear. She also wrote because she was involved with Scientology, she wrote a support letter for Danny Masterson, who people may know from that 70s show when he was going through his rape trial. And a bunch of people from Scientology were there to support him because Scientology. Anybody who's known me for a long time knows how I feel about Scientology. I think the feds should have shut them down a decade ago. I don't know how they're still in existence, but they are. But yeah, she's a longtime Scientologist. She had to come out and make a statement this weekend saying that when she was asked to do that, she was not aware and had been asked by a third party to do it. as like a favor for the church, and that she wasn't aware, and that she regrets writing the letter in support of Danny Masterson. Yeah, I see the skeptical look on your face.
What? Okay. No, I don't. That even makes it worse. I didn't know all of that. But no, Linkin Park was like a very specific sound to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's you know you can have like a cover band, that's great, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that this was the move. Again, I respect Mike Shinoda, who's kind of, running the show now. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt for the time being. And again, the stuff I've heard has been like live show stuff. I haven't heard any studio produced stuff, so I want to hear them do an album.
Yeah.
I need you to do an album so that I can hear what this really sounds like.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But yeah, I think I'm definitely leaning your direction.
Yeah, I mean, if they come out of Seattle, I'll pay money to go see it. I'll buy tickets for it. I will. But
Yeah.
I might not like it.
you may not be happy about it at the end of the day, but you'll at least try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when Chester was no longer with us. Like that one was another one. Like I was like, damn.
Yeah. That was like something it's one of those like things where you're like, oh my gosh, the guy that like I grew up to singing about like depression, essentially had depression, and this happened. Like, it was like I did not make that like correlation in my brain because he was like just such like a hero figure. And then like when it actually happened, you're like, oh no.
If you want to see, I don't know if you've seen this. If you want to see something pretty neat, I don't know if you know what carpool karaoke was that James Corden used to do.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see the one with Linkin Park?
I don't think so, no.
So, ironically, they recorded one with Linkin Park a few weeks before Chester died, but it hadn't aired when he died. And so James went back to Chester's wife and said, "What do you want me to do? Right? I will shelve this if you tell me to. Right? Or we can air it. It's your call." Right? And she said, "No, it's a really good thing. He was really happy. He had a lot of fun doing it. And I would rather the last thing coming out be something where he was having a ball and showing that positive side of himself." So if you haven't watched the Linkin Park Carpool Karaoke with James Corden, I highly recommend it. It's a great segment that they do. That's always a kind of a fun show that Corden did. And with those guys, like, sitting in the car. So Chester's there, Mike, and two of the other guys are there doing the karaoke. It's a good sequence. I recommend it. And again, it was done with the blessing of his family to release it. But yeah, it was recorded not long before he died. So go check that out. It's a fun sequence to watch. That brings us to the end of our rundown topics today. Sorry if it's a little rough, folks. Again, I'm out of practice on the technical side. I'm pushing my buttons, which is why I could hear Jeff at the beginning of the stream, but no one else could, because I forgot to disable one stupid feature in OBS. And I'm a little out of practice. It will get better, I promise. If you have any ideas for what we should call the show, leave them in the comments, drop them in the chat. But if there's anything you guys want to talk about, for the, I don't know, like 6 or 7 of you that have popped into the chat today, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. It's been great. We've actually I have to scroll to look at all the chat messages. So nice. That's nice. Thank you for participating with us tonight. It's looking pretty quiet. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. This will probably, I'm going to do some light edit on it, and we'll put it up on YouTube so you guys can watch later. Yeah, tell us what we should call the show, because it's blank right now. I've got placeholder frames and things. But yes, we're gonna start doing this. Today was again kind of a technical test. We're gonna work on some branding. We're gonna work on a title, and then we will be back. And we're hoping, I think, to go back to a weekly live stream with chunked out releases on YouTube after the fact. So, thank you all for joining us. Jay, say bye to the peoples.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining us.
We will see you all another time. Bye.
Bye.
All right.